Hello, welcome to the video. Uh, in this video, we're going to be looking at section 4.1, where we're going to be dealing with translations. All right, more specifically, translations in a coordinate plane. So the essential question that we are going to look at, and it says, how can you translate a figure in a coordinate plane? Well, first thing we have to do is look at something that is called vectors. So vectors, it says uh, in a diagram shown here where you have an initial point, which in a coordinate plane you may have a series of points to make an image. And these vectors have what are called terminal points. So from point P is your, in the diagram, point P is your initial point, and point Q is your terminal point. And basically what you are going to do when you illustrate these or answer these questions, instead of it putting like parentheses like you would with coordinates, you're going to kind of write out these kind of like um, looks like half of a rectangle or half of a quadrilateral, so they're actual like kind of like square looking pieces, and then you write it in your coordinates of x comma y, and the value of x is how many units it changes either right or left, and your value of y is how many units it changes up or down. So looking at vectors to start with, it says here, it says in the diagram, name the vector and write its its component form. So um, the vector here is JK, and the components is this. So if I look at, it looks like it's moving to the right, 1, 2, 3 units. So it went 3 to the right, and it went up 1, 2, 3, 4. So it went 4 up. So my vector is going to be located or going to be named 3, 4. How that translates for translations is what you're going to do is every point in the um, in the piece or in every point in the figure is going to be moved by that same vector. Okay, so like here it has points P and Q, which is our original points of x comma y, whatever coordinates they may be. And then you have a shift, or which doesn't change the physical geometry of it, it just moves it to a different spot in the coordinate, all right? And then if you look here, this says P prime and this is Q prime. So that little dash up on the top, that is how it's named um, through it's used the prime word. And then the vector is going to tell us where the location is of these particular movements in the coordinate plane. So we have, it says the vertices of triangle ABC are located as follows. A is 0, 3, B is 2, 4, C is 1, 0. They want us to translate using the vector 5, -1. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have A prime, B prime, and C prime here. So what you're going to do is state that, oops, since this is 5, what you're going to do is take the coordinate, the x coordinate is 0, and it's going to be 0 plus 5, comma, and I got -1, so it's -1 plus 3. Add everything together, so A prime is going to be 5, comma, 2. Looking at B prime, I'm going to have 2 plus 5, because I had 2 there, comma, -1 plus 4. Add those together, I get 7, comma, 3. And then finally, Looking at C prime, it's going to be 1 plus 5, comma, negative 1 plus 0, which gets us a value of 6, comma, negative 1. So here is our new coordinates. We didn't change the size and shape of the figure. We just moved it to a different spot in the coordinate plane. So here it says write a rule for the translation of ABC to A prime, B prime, and C prime. So all you got to really do is this. When you're writing a rule, you got to be able to choose one point. All right, just pick one point. So you can say, let's just look at and just use point A for instance. So point A looks like it went to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. So since it went to the left, that makes it a negative 4. And it went up 1. So my y change is 1. So my vector is going to be negative 4, comma 1. So if I'm going to write this as a rule, it's going to look something kind of like this. So depending on what your values of x and y, it'll look something like this, like x, comma, y, and then you'll have some kind of arrow, and then the arrow is going to tell us where the translation is going to be located. And in this particular instance, it's going to be x minus 4 because it went 4 to the left, comma, y plus 1. So this would be my rule for this particular example for the translation from ABC to A prime, B prime, C prime. All right, so here it says graph the quadrilateral ABCD with vertices. Um, you know, they gave us the four vertices there, but then they gave us a rule saying that it's going to be x plus 3 and y minus 1. So again, I'm not as I'm not as concerned about you being able to graph it, but I am concerned about you being able to discover what those coordinates are. So let's say I got A, A prime, B prime, C prime, and finally D prime. So I'm going to have coordinates here. So all you're going to do is add 3. So negative 1 plus 3 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So that's 2 comma 1 is A prime. Let's look at B. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. 5 minus 1 is 4. So that's B prime. I look at C. 4 plus 3 is 7. And then 6 minus 1 is 5. And then finally, 4 plus 3 is 7. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So those are the coordinates for the translation with that specific rule. And again, this is very similar to the other one. This one here is just two line segments. Again, um, for this particular one, I got R prime is going to be located at, looks like negative 3, comma 3. And then S prime will be located at negative 1, comma 6. Okay. If you need the other one done, please leave a comment down below. More than happy to answer your question. And that is looking at translations. I hope this helps. Until next time.